Have you ever tried to manifest something and you found that the harder you tried, the longer it seemed to take? And it's so damn frustrating. Kind of like when you try to convince your cat to come over for a cuddle and all they do is show you their butthole. Well, in this episode, we're going to go through 3 things that you need to know if you want to be able to manifest faster. And I'm going to share my very favorite hack with you for accelerated manifestation. And the best part of all is it's not some woo-woo pseudoscience stuff. It is actually just tapping into the way your mind naturally works. Now, this channel is the place where we make money fun and easy so you can feel great about your finances, become magnetic to more, and have the confidence of knowing what to do with it. And if you're up for some of that, then make sure you hit the like button, click subscribe, and hit the notification bell while you're here as well. Now, you know that old saying that a watched kettle never boils? Well, there's actually a lot of wisdom in that. In fact, there's a lot of neuroscience in that because it refers to what's known as the law of reversed effort, or the backwards law, which is when our mind is constantly reinforcing to itself the state of the lack of the thing we want. It's the watched kettle never boils, trying to get to sleep and finding that you're just even more awake, trying not to stutter doesn't really work, right? Trying to enjoy yourself makes you not enjoy yourself because you're hyper focused on the thing you so desperately want to the point that you're actually getting in the way of it. And I honestly don't know how my cat knows about this, but every time I decide that I want a cuddle, I get the cat's bum in my face. But then when it's like 4 in the morning and she decides it's time, she'll be licking my face, nibbling my ears, and literally sit herself down on top of me. The harder you try, the worse it gets. I remember when I was working in my corporate career, there was a lady who was trying to get pregnant and she went through so many rounds of IVF. She went into massive debt trying to get pregnant. She was stressed. It was all consuming and she finally gave up, and she was such a stressed out mess by that stage that what they actually did is they sold their house, she quit their job, and they were just going to go traveling in a caravan for 6 months. She messaged us 2 months into it and said, guess what? I'm pregnant and we don't have a house anymore. So this is what happens, right? You try, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And then you back away and you kind of are ready to give up. And suddenly, hey, presto, there's the thing that you've been so desperately wanting all this time. So this is the first thing that you need to keep in mind, that the harder you try, the more you're actually being counterproductive and literally getting in the way. And a big part of the reason for that is the second thing that we need to talk about, because just as you can't walk around in the sun all day and then complain that you got burnt and say, but I wasn't tanning. I'm only tanning when I'm like lying on a sun lounge in my bikini reading a book. So I wasn't tanning. Why did I get burnt? You can't do that, right? Well, the same with law of attraction and manifestation and what you attract into your experience. There is no off switch. And I see and hear this all the time, right? People will say, well, I'm manifesting something now. Well, what were you doing before? Because you're always manifesting something. You cannot turn it off. There is no off switch. There is this process, right, where thoughts are becoming things and things are coming into our experience. And we are a part of that with our thoughts, our words, our beliefs, our actions. We are a component of this process, and we can't just turn that off and say, well, now I'm in it, now I'm not in it, because it's still your life at all times. And so it's not just about now I'm doing it, now I'm not doing it. You're always doing it. It's just a matter of exactly what is it you're doing. Just like you can't really kill time, you can only not use it well. And if you have a look at, what actually causes manifestations, cause and effect, and that you are the cause of the effect. If you have a look at the bigger picture, I think you'll probably have to admit that a lot of the time you're not being very cooperative to the outcome that you want, because a lot of the time you're complaining that it's taking too long, that it's too hard, that it's not happening. So your energy, your output is actually going in the opposite direction to where you say you want it to go. And so this is the real issue, right? The real issue isn't that law of attraction doesn't work, manifesting isn't happening, or it's not happening fast enough. The real issue is that you're getting in the way because your attention is all over the place. You are like a rabbit on crack with ADD, and every single thing that's going on is getting your attention. and taking you away from actually being consistently in alignment with the outcome you do desire. So it's like, well, what do we do to make sure that we keep your attention on track, that we make sure we keep your energy, your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your words, and your actions, that we keep all of those congruent and consistently in alignment with the outcome you want? Because manifesting is always working. It's just a thing. You can't turn it off. And law of attraction is always switched on. There is no off switch. So the only thing that's actually going on is that you're off with the fairies some of the time and completely getting in the way at other times, rather than being consistently in alignment and an actual helpful cooperative component to the outcome you desire. So it's actually about your attention and the focus of your energy. So what are we going to do? How are we going to make sure we keep your attention? You know, do we have to set up one of those crazy windsocks they have in car yards? Well, I've got something much easier, much better. That's not going to look anywhere near as weird for you. It is my favorite hack to keep your focus, to keep your attention on what you want. We do this in Magnetic Money. We have a whole module on it. And just putting it simply, we make sure that we focus on any shred of evidence of the outcome you're looking for. Anything that resembles it, that is a little stepping stone along the way, that is like a little advanced preview of it, you want to get excited and focus on that. And then here's a little bonus tip for you: reinforce it to yourself with what I call an evidence mantra. This is not an affirmation. We'll talk about affirmations a whole other time and why they don't work. Evidence mantras work because you're using it in the moment where the thing is right in front of you. A hot tip is start with the words, "That's right," because that's a hypnotic term. And so you'll say, "That's right. It is working. People are always booking in for sessions with me," if that's what just happened. So you literally just reinforce the evidence that you just experienced of the type of thing you're looking to manifest more of. And so this brings us to a really good question. What do I do and what should I not do so that I can manifest what I want faster, but not get in the way? How do I know where to strike the balance and which action is actually helpful and which kind of action is unhelpful? Well, that's what this episode is all about. So jump on that next and let's talk about it.